Isekai.
The Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 55, Nauseating. Ren Wanyun had said it like this: Old Shen Furen was not so stupid enough not to hear the intention behind the words. Listening to Ren Wanyun's tone, that Prince Yu was a devilish figure, so if Shen Miao ended up in his hands, it would only be that the official name sounds nice. The real benefit was for the Shen family. As for Shen Yuanbo, he was old Shen Furen's precious. To use Shen Miao to pave the way for Shen Yuanbo, this idea suited old Shen Furen's thoughts. With that being the case, then what you both said is also good. It seems that Prince Yu is fifth girl's husband. Old Shen Furen's skin was extremely thick. To sit upright, and say it like this, a trace of contempt flashed in Chen Rikayu's eyes. Mother also felt that it is good? Ren Wanyun's ability to spout nonsense with her eyes open was as high as she immediately replied, the husband's family that this daughter-in-law picked for little five, naturally, would not be of a low position. The branch of the Prince of First Rank residence is a very high one. Old Shen Furen heard what was said, and nodded her head, when she thought about something, and asked, did that prince's residence dispatched someone to intercede? Ren Wanyun's face shook, even though she was also not easy to deal with. She did not think that this old woman would be so impatient, just itching to quickly decide on Shen Miao's marriage. Of course, it would be better to quickly get this marriage over, and done with, else when Shinzin returns, it would be troublesome. But, even if the dust had settled, Shinzin might not even let Shen Miao marry into the residence of the Prince of First Rank. Thus, it was necessary to use some unusual means. Fortunately, the people from the residence of the Prince of First Rank did not seem to intend on a legal marriage. That Prince Yu was fond of playing tricks by several means. Naturally, it was not known to anyone. Mother, it is still too early now. Ren Wanyun smiled as she said, little five is still young, and there is no rush. If one were to set it up, then others would inevitably talk. Let both of them get along first. After the couple is harmonious, when little five herself is willing, then we would talk about marriage. Like this, there would not be anyone who would say, we forced little five. Even if Shen Miao was a fool, it would not be possible for her to be harmonious with Prince Yu. Doing this would be nothing more than covering up ugly intentions with beautiful words. There was no way of knowing whatever would happen in the middle that would lead to the result. Chen Rikyu smiled quietly, but did not speak, even though she wanted Shen Miao to fall into bad luck in her heart. But her personality was still prudent. This kind of matter that stands out would be better to be handled by Ren Wanyun. In the future, if Shinzin really investigated, then there would be nothing to be pursued at her end. Sitting on top of a mountain to watch the tigers fighting was something Chen Rikyu was good at. Behind the screen, Shen Yu's and Shen Qing's hearts had some fear. They did not expect that in just a few short sentences, the greatest matter of Shen Miao's life would be decided. As far as a young female was concerned, a husband represented the happiness and fortune of the next half of her life, but, for Shen Miao, she was destined to be unfortunate. However, there was no trace of compassion in Shen Yu's and Shen Qing's hearts. In the official circle, Shinzin suppressed their fathers. In status-wise, Shen Miao suppressed both of the sisters. In addition to old Shen Furen's influence, the first household had become a big eyesore, so now that they see Shen Miao being out of luck, they could only rejoice at her misfortune. Even though old Shen Furen knew nothing about managing a household, she was very proficient in the fights between the females at the inner courtyard, especially these kinds of shameful and secrets methods. In the beginning, In order to go from a little songstress to become the head matriarch of the General Shen's residence, one must not only have a seductive face, but also have means and methods that is naturally be vicious. Therefore, when she heard Ren Wanyun's words, she understood the intention behind them, and smiled. "Oh, like this then let fifth girl get closer to Prince Yu. It is indeed, this kind of thing would be better, else, if we really force fifth girl, when the eldest returns, and get angry, it would not be pleasant." Her current complexion was already harsh, to make such a look of love and affection, it would only make one feel that it was the smiling face of a weasel with ill intentions. Shen Yu and Shen King broke into a cold sweat, and quickly retreated far away from the folding screen. In the west courtyard under the lamp, Shen Miao was quietly sitting. There was a white parchment that was placed in front of her, but there was nothing on it. The ink was grinded, and the brush was prepared. She seemed to want to write, but, after a moment she gave a light sigh, and kept that white parchment. Even though it was good to prepare for a rainy day, but, now that she was just an unmarried female, and currently only depended on nothing more than the information she previously had access to, these things however, would not be utilized to their fullest at her current position. As expected, the road had to be walked a single step at a time. Gu Yu and Jing saw her sighing, and thought that she was thinking about the matter of Prince Yu. Gu Yu came forward to console, "Young lady, be at ease, if that side is really malicious, these servants would risk one's life to protect young lady. If it is really not workable, there are still people who have a close relationship with master in the capital." At worst, Shen Miao shook her head. The residence of the prince of first rank has a high position, and great powers, moreover there is still the imperial family's protection. No matter how good a relation father has with others, it would also not be as good as to offend the imperial family just to protect me. In addition, the imperial family was glaring like a tiger watching his prey on the Shen family. If one were to suddenly take action without careful consideration, it would lead the imperial family to be more suspicious of Shenzhen colluding with others. After all, towards any emperor, it would be a bad thing when their officials are too close with one another. Or else, just write a letter to master. Jing said, even though master is burdened by military affairs, but, eldest young master is only attached to the army, and did not have any orders. If he returns to the Ding capital, there would not be any punishments. With eldest young master's presence, he would be able to protect young lady. It would take more than a month for eldest brother to rush back from the northwest region. How would that be on time? Do you think they would be able to endure that long? Shen Miao said it plainly. Shenzhen's deterrent force would only make them take action in the shortest possible time. Once raw rice was cooked, and with some frightening words that would be able to make her comply obediently to the manipulations, Shen Miao perhaps would, but, the Empress Shen of the Inner Palace, who bathed in bloody tears, would never. Then what can be done? Gu Yu and Ging's facial expressions both changed greatly. Even though they knew that this matter was anything but no good, they did not think that it was that serious. Prince Yu's means, no matter what kind of young lady he was interested in, even if they were from high-ranking officials, once defiled meant that they were defiled. Even if in the end the imperial family come out to console, there was nothing that can be done. It was because this person's means were so evil and perverse, one may not be able to see it on the surface, and the ones suffering were still those young females. What is to be done? Others are always unreliable. Shen Miao looked at the jumping fire. It is still better to depend on oneself. But, young lady, Guyu was somewhat anxious. How could Shen Miao protect herself now? If it was others, family members would be able to resist a little, but second and third households people would have most likely allied with one another. I naturally have my own ways. Shen Miao played with the paperweight in her hands. The residents of the Prince of First Rank relied on the Emperor's kindness and the imperial family's protection only. If the imperial family was unwilling to protect him, how would it be like if at the same time a few enemies came knocking? A residence of the Prince of First Rank that lost the imperial family's protection will be just worthless mud. Prince of the First Rank, in the end, he had some blood relations with the imperial family, so it would start with him first. Conveniently, she looked outside, and saw a vague fat figure outside the window moving. If it was not Gui Mama, who would it be? And also take this passing opportunity to clean out all these unclean and unclear things in the west courtyard.